Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am covering the war conflict between Israel and Hamas in the Middle East, and I'm reporting right now from a Jewish synagogue in Pasco County, Florida. Why am I in front of a Jewish synagogue? Well, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, just issued a state of emergency in reference to the war between Israel and Hamas. Let me give you some information about the state of emergency, because tensions are rising, right? Tensions are rising, and the concern is people on both sides, whether the Palestinian side or the Jewish side, might attack a possible religious establishment or school, particularly in the state of Florida. That's why the governor issued a state of emergency. I want to read this report right here. Governor Ron DeSantis declares emergency after Israel attack. And in this report, it says Governor Ron DeSantis on Thursday declared a state of emergency in response to the war between Israel and Hamas, with his office saying that the declaration allows the Florida Division of Emergency Management to bring Floridians home and transport necessary supplies to Israel. The declaration came as the federal government said it is arranging charter flights to transport Americans. And we reported on this channel that people are stranded. Americans, faith groups in Israel are stranded because of the airlines not shutting down operations and not going to Israel. So there's people trapped. Some commercial airlines have halted service to Israel amid the escalating war that started Saturday with Hamas' surprise attack on Israel. DeSantis, in part, called for activation of the Florida National Guard as needed. It also directed Division Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie to carry out state of emergency management plan and other response, recovery, and mitigation plans necessary to cope with the emergency, including any logistical, rescue, or evacuation operations. DeSantis said Thursday in New Hampshire, beginning a two-day trip to the early primary state in his bid for president. DeSantis is running for president. The governor's office said more than 20,000 Americans are in Israel who wish to return home but are unable to do so. Now, part of this emergency order, which I'm going to show you right now, calls on Florida to protect religious establishments and religious schools in the state of Florida. Whereas, beginning on October 7th and continuing to the present date, the state of Florida responded immediately by surging law enforcement resources upon request to prevent violence at these demonstrations and to protect the Jewish population in their schools and places of worship. So I am out here in Pasco County at this particular Jewish worship. You could call it a synagogue. If you look it up in Pasco County, it's here. There's only a few in Pasco County. I'm looking around. I don't see any security whatsoever. And that does concern me because, tensions are rising. There's protests and rallies all across the country going on. This is, tensions are high as I've seen it in a long, long time. What's your thoughts? Will there be security out here? I don't know. Will the Tampa Bay area where I'm from have protection so people can worship in peace? We want people to worship in peace, whether you're on the Israeli side or the Palestinian side. We don't want these religious establishments getting attacked. And schools, parents send their kids to schools. Schools, apparently there's a post on Twitter of a person claiming that law enforcement is perched out of a school in somewhere in Florida. Check it out. So this was a post on Twitter. Governor DeSantis orders state troopers to assist in protecting Jewish schools in Florida. A friend from Florida just sent this to me. They felt very grateful and safe when they dropped their kids off at school and wanted to thank Ron DeSantis. Both state troopers and local LE were protecting the school. Will they also protect Palestinians' places of worship, not just Jewish? It's good that we have law enforcement out there, but I haven't seen any reports yet of mosques or anything in Florida being protected too, because, you know, Jewish population or anyone could retaliate against Palestinians too, peaceful Palestinians. So let me know what you think. I would think that you would want all levels of protection in Florida from both sides to prevent any violence on both sides. So let me know what you think about all this. What's your thoughts on this Israeli-Hamas war? Will other countries get involved? The United States so far is sending 2 aircraft carriers to the Middle East to monitor the situation. There's other factions like Hezbollah, terrorist groups that claim they're going to get involved with this conflict and do some harm on Israel. We say no to all violence on JLR Investigates. It's, you know, we don't know what's going to happen here. We don't know what's going to happen. But in Florida, they issued a state of emergency. This is a quiet street. Quiet street. So I am out here in the field. Subscribe to my channel, like, hit the notification button. Keep you posted on latest developments when it comes to the Israeli-Hamas war in Florida. I've already covered a protest rally, pro-Palestinian, pro-Israel rally, counter-protest clash between both groups in Tampa last weekend. Hearing more protests are coming. If they do, I'll be covering it. So stay tuned. And we call for peace.